Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Samgeswe Dlamini, but you can call me Semi D as always. Call me Semi D. Alright? Yeah guys, as you can see, today I'm not alone. I'm with my friend Ikamala Tembisa. You can introduce yourself.
Hi everyone, Tembisa as Tembisa Ntuli. You can call me Tembisa.
Yeah!
But unfortunately, Mina Aiko.
Yeah, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Happy to be here.
Thank you for joining me. I'm so happy, guys. And the reason why I'm happy is because the person that I have, okay, more than the fact that she's beautiful, as you can see,
Thank you.
she's smart, okay? Thank you. She is so smart. Oh my goodness. So sometimes talking to her, I always want to just listen to her, soak in whatever that she'll be saying. So if you see me quiet, just know that it's that time. Okay?
But she's deceiving because the shares in my page. It's a two-way street now.
It is a two-way street. So yeah guys, so today we are here to do a review on drum roll,
The End by the incredible, formidable pioneer of South African original literature, Dudu Busani-Dube.
Amen. Yes. So we're doing a review here at the end. We are going to touch on other books as well, because like we did say when we were discussing off,
Behind
the scenes. Yes, we did say that we're going to touch on other books. So we have here with us The Mess and Ini Iqunga. So yeah, Tembisa, we've spoken about this before. We've spoken about this book. We read it and we had to sort of like do a what do you call it? A deep briefing. What do you call it?
What was it? What was the word that I needed? We needed to decompress whatever. That they be used. Yeah, but we just needed to debrief and just have a therapy session to just get through all the things that we went through between this cover going to that cover.
And so guys, I need to do this before we can even start. Okay, if you see me looking then I have this, so it's just the notes that we have compiled so that we have this conversation or this discussion. But before we get into the discussion, how long did it take you to read the book?
It took me 2 evenings of not sleeping because I have a job. So for one, I couldn't wait till the launch date.
Okay.
And I found, shout out to Uzenani, the Koli, where I got my book. I got my book from Koli 2 days before the launch. And as soon as I got it in my hands, I got home and I started reading.
Please repeat that.
2 days.
We can't even say 2 days.
2 nights.
2 nights.
Yeah.
That can be a day. That can be 1 day.
Yeah, 24 hours.
24 hours. Okay, guys.
And the thing is, I'm a slow reader, but I just somehow, this is the fastest I've read ever in my life when it came to this book.
So guys, this book has 549 pages. Look, I don't know if you're gonna see, but 549 pages in 24 hours.
Yes, that's how good it is.
Yeah,
it is how captivating it is.
It is.
And it's, I think that says a lot about the author as well.
No, it does.
Yeah.
Well, I kind of struggled. I kind of struggled through. I can say I took about a week. Because I do work as well, so I'll read it after work. But I did struggle to finish it within a day. But also, you know why I was struggling. I had struggles because I didn't know what to expect from the book. So that is why maybe it leads me to the next question. Uguti, when you heard that the end is releasing, what came to your mind? What was your idea? Uguti, okay, the book is going to be the end. After reading everything, and I know you're a fan of I know that, and I know that you've been following her writings and stuff like that. So when you were thinking the end, what were you thinking? Did you think
For one, I expected the end. I've been waiting for the end since the release of Naledi.
Yes.
Back in 2015, 2016, somewhere there. So for me, when it finally happened, I had exhausted all the endings that I had conceptualized in my mind through the years. Irrespective that Iquma came out, irrespective that the mess came out in between Naledi and the end. But for me, those in between books were commercial breaks to the actual book that I've been waiting for.
Yeah.
So I had a blank canvas because as I said, I had exhausted everything I could think under the sun. And the thing about Dudu as well, as much as you may think and think you have an idea, she will totally blow your mind and write something that you never ever expected.
Yeah.
Ever at
Yeah,
all. So I've learned my lesson. By the time it came up, I had learned my lesson. Uguti, I'll take each page as it comes.
Okay.
That's it.
All right. Yeah, interesting, because I had my own ideas about the end. I thought that it's either the end of Shlomun Kele or the end of the Zulu family. I don't know how, but this is why I think I was anxious also in reading the book to say, because I didn't want to hear what I thought I would hear. And I think your approach was actually good, because then it gave you time not to be scared or to fear what you're going to read next. Because me now, I know Guti, one of the reasons why I really, really struggled is because I was like, no, I don't want, and especially I didn't want Mkele to whatever situation to end. Yeah, so I really did think, because of also what happened with Miss. Right?
I think for me, it's not a matter of like the end of Mhlomo and Mkele. Like I had made peace because of the traumas that Dudu puts us through. I had made peace with a lot of things. Yeah. If Mkele and Mhlomo end, it's fine. I was ready for Mhlomo to be a widow. If I had to choose between Mkele and Mhlomo dying, I'd rather have a widow that is Mhlomo than Mkele without Mhlomo.
But you see, it's exactly the same, because I think the person that wanted to preserve more was Shlomu.
Yes.
Because even knowing that in the book itself, knowing that if things did not happen, she would have to leave, because she was sort of like the end. Yeah. If they had not sacrificed someone or something.
Disclaimer that you're supposed to say if in the beginning. This is a spoiler alert of just anything related to the book and the series as a whole. So if you haven't read, sorry to you. Spoiler alert. Yeah, do carry on watching.
But we did read, so we are going to share our Lokuzane. And what did you think of? Did you think that the Zulus it would be their end as well because of Mqoqe's death? Remember, they were the brothers, and they were always like a unit together. Did you at some point think that by them losing Mqoqe, maybe things are gonna...
I was interested to see how they would handle it. Like, I didn't think it was going to be the end of him, because at the end of the day, nobody ever prepares for death. And I think I had this view because I experienced death in my life starting from a very young age. So it's something that you can never prepare for. It's just a cup that's pulled from under your feet. And so for them as well, as much as, because they never imagined for themselves to be less than 8, we as the readers never imagined them being less than 8. So at the end of the day, life does carry on, because I know from experience life carries on. So for them it was going to carry on, but how, it was just, that's the thing. As much as my canvas was blank, but yo.
Yeah, no. I've never read a book, an abuser like this book. You know, and had it not been for you, actually. So, okay, guys, let me just tell you, she bought the book, right? I didn't buy the book. She bought the book, and then she gave it to me to read. And, well, like I did say, she finished it within a day. I'll just say a day. And so when she gave me, I was like, at that point, I was not ready to read it, because I was like, I'm going through my own things. I don't want anything that was going to be sort of like ezofika izongihlukumeza empilweni yabo. So I was like, no, and she's like, no, just take it, just read it. And then I took it and I read it, and halfway through the book I'm like, no, I don't think I'm ready for Hlomu's death.
I wasn't. I had to say was, when it seems like it gets tough, just carry on reading.
She did. She said, just carry on reading. The minute you feel like, and I was like, no, I did. Like I remember Guti, and I would agree with you. Guti, I did see it. Oh, that is why there is, because you didn't want to spoil it for me to tell me what will happen, and then you just had to say carry on reading. And I did. Read through and yeah, so now here's another issue. We read, like, first chapters we get to learn that for whatever issues that the Zulus Hlomu came to end, whatever issues that the Zulu family, well, what do we even call that, whatever in Amabadi, is it even Amabadi, and what do you call it?
I don't know what in English what we'd call it, like even in Zulu, but it's kind of like a testament to the sins of the father will fall on the children. So the legacy of things that were started way back when by Utulula, they are following them to their generation and leading even to their children's generation. So Hlomu is the one that kind of came to either be the healing or the end, because with each, as we discovered in the book, with each woman that came, they came for a specific role. From their mother to Tania to Hlomu being the first wife of their generation, and then carrying on. So it's like everyone has a role, and she, with what she came to do, and now the legacy of the previous first wives was following her as well. Yeah.
And okay, so we see, or whatever that is, what do we call that?
I don't even think
there's a word to describe it.
There's a word to describe it because it's so complex.
Yes, it is complex. It's very so much complex. Okay, but now when we learn that now it's either Hlomu or the child, what did you think? What did you think when
middle of the night? My neighbors that day, I was like busy shouting, like, cause they are busy. Ladies in her zone. I recognize her. Yes. I'm like, fucking just in the fire, we don't have a name. All of them, they have beautiful names. Like, this one does not have a name. We do not recognize it. It must just come and do what it's supposed to do because we need our song. We need to song.
Yay!
Because I was reading in bed and I'm sitting up. I'm like, I don't know.
I think I also walked. I think I'm not even the episode. I am bedding. When I started walking and I'm like, Mhlaba, Posingane, Emlilwe. Oh my goodness. But afterwards I felt bad because I'm like,
never. Because at the end of the day, who are we always going to choose?
Hlomu. Oh my goodness, that was funny because I was like, I wonder if, and it happens even with also, I guess movies. You find with a movie is a bad movie, but you're all on the bad side of the movie, the good side of the movie.
But also besides that, like we got introduced to Umhlaba like in the later books.
Yes.
But it goes to show Uguti Umhlaba is the essence of Ozulu.
Yes.
They will never destroy their own. Umhlaba, he didn't grow around the Zulu brothers for a long time.
Yes.
But as soon as they reconnected,
yes,
their children were his children, and this child he had just met, but he did a typical Zulu thing of preserving that life. Whereas for us, knowing his legacy, where he was for many years in jail and all of that, we think, very easy. Is I was this imposing on it, therefore, no.
And I did think he will. Like, at some point I was like, no, Umhlaba will. Uzokwenza, until they walk out. And I'm like, how Umhlaba?
No, Mina, for me, because I had the same mentality of what he will,
Yes,
because
yes.
I had my preconceived idea of who he was,
Was,
as a person,
yes.
because of the history, which was a great lesson for me. You know, what Umuntu is not what they have been, the things, the headlines about them. Ngoba we just know headlines about people's lives, we don't know them, and the essence of who they are. So that's what for me, we go through life doing that, even in the social media with different trends, and you know. So for me, that was my thing. I expect to vele, but he was like true to Zulu men.
Yes.
Ingane yakhe le.
And he wasn't going to.
Is not going to destroy that life. Yes, this is but not with ingane yakhe, like, you know, because it wasn't a matter of no ingane yaqhawe, no, it was ingane yakhe. I'm not going to do that
to my child. Yes. No, that's so true. Oh, that was scary. But yeah, we did want it.
Yeah, I think this passenger eating.
Yes.
As the Zulu wives, we drink drinks from Coffee Max. Ningabuz
siphuzani. Ningabuz siphuzani.
Yeah.
You know how
if you know the series, you know Uguti. Yeah. Cheers.
And okay, so what else did you like? I was interested in the fact that in this book, the brothers themselves had an opportunity to actually take us through their journey and to hear them speak, to hear them share their thoughts and ideas, and even having conversations with other brothers. What was your take on that one?
I really loved that. I appreciated that from Dudu.
Yeah.
Yes, we feel like Siabazi, but we've never been in their heads.
Yes.
You know, and for us, we just think the elder brothers, and then Lababani, besides the popular one, because of the mess as well, and always being the diehard adrenaline junkie that he's always been. You know, but the younger ones, they're kind of there, they have their roles, but they've never been prominent, like Lababadala, Ungosana. Ngobizitha is a character that just but he features there, a prominent role that features there, and then of course Umqhele noQhawe, Usambulu naye features there, but and kind of always, I don't know for you, other people, but for me kind of like the main characters.
Yes,
and then it's like yes, Nganyane, yes Mqoqe, yes Mpande, and then kebe sekuba Usibani going down. So to hear them they've got their own challenges as men. Yes. You know, they just always seemed like it's either they're problem makers, and then they're just solution driven, and just always protecting, providing. But they've got things going on in their lives and their emotions that go beyond what we see them as. Yes,
and that's so true. Because if we look at uQhawe, for an example, an experience that he went through after Naledi had given birth, and then after that she was now sick and she had to be in hospital in coma actually for a very long time, and we could hear how he would speak to her as well, and I would understand that time was not easy for him. It was a very difficult time to see your wife. I mean, and on top of that, then when dad passes away, while your wife is coma, you have small kids. I mean, it's not easy for anyone, and I think it was so beautiful for Dudu to then bring that for us to see and to hear that they, even Umqhele himself, because we've always known Umqhele as umuntu or, you know,
very honest.
But yeah,
says it as it is,
and then he
beyond local we don't think there's a continued conversation within himself. Besides local
yes. So it was so beautiful to actually see that, and especially Umpande talking about his. I'm not sure if we're allowed to mention things like maybe we'll just use Gamilton.
Well, no, I think we should call it what it is, you know, because because that's one of the things that in society is like it's not recognized as it should. Yes. But it's very important the way that Dudu highlights it. Mpande speaking about his own abuse and molestation at the hands of women who were adults in his life. You know, so that is very important because a lot of when we speak to male friends, their first sexual encounters were actually molestation at the hands of adult women.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
and that's a common phenomenon in our society that doesn't get spoken about. Whenever molestation and abuse of children is spoken about, it's always referred to the girl child.
The girl child,
only.
yes. Yeah.
Whereas the boy child goes through the exact same thing, but then it's like it's swept under the carpet as if it's something that doesn't exist, and also swept under the carpet as if women are only abused and not ever the perpetrator.
Yes.
When it comes to that conversation.
Yes, and I think that was very important to highlight, Uguti, because I do think, Uguti, the reason why in society sometimes we have men that behave the way that they behave is because they've been molested themselves at a very young age, and they've been abused at a very young age, and because of that, sometimes, I'm not saying it's everyone, abanye basile nje sidalo sabo, but I'm just saying, Uguti, just like how women, if I were like molested at a very young age, sometimes I don't see the value of me as a person, and because of that, in the way that I behave is sort of like driven or directed by what happened to me as a child. And I'm trying to, I don't know, do you have?
I've got a different view on that.
Okay.
In that men, when it comes to society always gives a reason why men does what they do, what they do.
Yeah.
Whereas for me, it's a very easy cop out.
Okay.
Because women experience greater traumas. Women experience more traumas than on record than what men go through.
Okay.
You know, and yet women don't act out in the way that men act out. And when men act out, there's always a reason given for why they do.
They would act.
In reverse, let's say a woman was being abused and they happen to kill their abuser in self-defense. They pay consequences in society for that. Whereas when a man does something to a woman, though it's the victim's duty to prove and jump through hoops to prove that this was really done to me, you know, which is the same legacy when it comes to this. I don't think it's justified that men get given the go ahead to say sometimes they act the way they act because of what they went through. Women go through a lot, and with our conversations that we've had, every woman we've had encountered, they've gone through a lot, you know, but yet they don't go into society and act out the way that men do most of the time. Not to say that women don't act out. Yes. You know, in whichever way. But for me with Umpande, it showed that on a universal, not just male abuse or female abuse, from a universal perspective, that abuse has lifelong consequences. It may have happened to you as a child, but the consequences of that act go through you throughout life. You never reach a stage in your life where you say, yes, I'm done, I've dealt with this, I've closed the chapter, it's there. It always comes back at you in some way or form, whereas you're always going through life healing from whatever that you went through. Because for Umpande, it's not something that he highlighted, but he's only noticed with his conversations and encounters with what's her name? The psychologist Ingania.
What's her name? We can check here.
but yes, when he encounters her, that he's noticing the difference that throughout my life, my encounter with women are like this, but it's different with that person. And his lifelong experiences with women were motivated by his molestation experience.
Yes.
You know, hence his intimacy with women has always been the same. His encounters with women has kind of always been the same.
Yes.
Until he meets her. You know, where he becomes comfortable, where he becomes vulnerable, where he just lets down his guard and kind of relearn himself as well of who he is.
Yes. Also, the name of the character that we're looking for is Ukai. The guys, we read this book how many months ago?
Was it in July? Was it end of July, middle of July?
Yeah.
I think it was I'm not sure.
Yeah, but it
more
was
than
in
a month ago.
more than a month ago. So it was in July, and now we are in what? In October. So you can just imagine. So do you have maybe a favorite? Besides Shlomo, because Shlomo will always be our favorite. But do you have any other favorite character?
Like, I don't know, because Mina, I go in there, I'm Mbuba tribe, I'm in the zone.
Yeah.
Makuthiwa kuyahanjwa ke-Mbuba, there I am packing my bags, going to Mbuba with them. Mangabe behamba belaphaya at the plaza lapha, nami ngiseplazini nabo. But like, I would say I like the I'd say I pick up characteristics. I like the boldness yana lady.
Yes, yeah.
I like the boldness yana lady in that in throughout her growth in the I liked her growth in the family, which she became Zulu through and through.
Yes.
She became Zulu through and through, and even with finding out that her father died, as a unconscious Ukawa had turmoil with her sisters, and they expected her to wake up, pack her bags, and come back to the Montos.
Yes.
Naledi was like, no, guys, I'm going to the Zulus that I always chosen, like you always say, I'm going to the people that I chose.
Yes.
So that's Naledi's boldness and just doing things the way that she wants to do them, not to say, no, women don't go to the grave, therefore I'm not going to go. She wasn't at the funeral, so she went and to grieve her own way of grieving. And over and above that, for her smoking again, yes. She quit smoking not by her own choice, but it was a default thing. I was like, I need to quit. For me, I was like, yes, that's my lady. I wasn't surprised. For me, I was like, yes, when I girl.
Yes, when I girl.
I got in the dark. So that's the one characteristic. Her boldness. She is going to make a decision, stick by it, whether it's a bad one or a good one. But when she makes a decision, she sticks by it. That's one thing I liked about that. But it just is her naivety.
Oh, mama.
Romantic Bible.
But no mundo yes.
High school love in old age.
Yes.
Like the naivety of
I love them as well. Shame. And it's funny because more of a fire. Do you think her being in jail for that long kind of made her so soft? And because I thought she'll come back and be the Shlomo or want to sort of like overtake who Shlomo was, but no, she just came back. All she wanted was to be with, she tried with her kids, but of course they were used to Shlomo a lot, so all that she just wanted was to be with her man, and that's all. And that is why they even chose to just go
like yes, that had was part of it. Well, never say we've experienced jail, but at the end of the day, society moves at such a fast pace. We don't know how much more for a person that's been behind.
She's missed a lot.
Been incarcerated. She's missed a lot. But also, as you say, they've always fought for each other. All the things that they went through were because they wanted to be together. The thing that landed her in jail was because she wanted to be with the father of her child. I want my family, therefore you're not going to take my family away.
Yes.
So rather you go mother than I go or my child goes. Because what I am going to do is ngizomshada inkosana.
And ngizomshada ungathandi.
Ngizomshada inkosana, And even when she ended up in jail, they were still trying to get married, and then coming out and all the things that they had to do. Besides KwaZulu, the family as a whole, they've always had something to fight for. They've always had to fight for each other. So when it finally happened for them, it felt like they were like, we are going to make the most of it, to hell with everything else. So yes, in this little bubble, I can't fix other things, but I've got Munpam. Yes. For all is well, and Muntai was like, okay, logistics.
I'm out. I'm out, like literally, yeah. I think I also like her as well, but oh, Bagiti, the beautiful one, the one of Tandai, the lashes.
That blinks a lot.
You know, I actually liked her a lot. Well until the end. Towards the end, where now she was a bit crazy, but I think she was calm, man. In all of this, in everything that happened, Gazulu, Abafas Bakona, but I think she was always calm. And all that I always hear in Djibouti, and she liked being beautiful.
No, but Mina,
she liked being
Mina beautiful. For Ukoli, I have the thing with, was she always calm though?
Oh yes, because
no, Mina, I'll say my reason why I say this. Yes. Because back when we thought the end was coming before Christmas after Naledi, Dudu used to release ama snippets, ama teasers, like she normally does, because my obsession with following whatever.
Yes.
And then there's a teaser I released of Utoli and Usambu. And it was very gory. You know, Usambulo had just killed a person in this room, in one of the rooms. It was bloody, it was gore, but Ukoli was right there. So for me, since then, that snippet, it opened my eyes. It makes sense, like, because Ushomi were used to and then she'd figure it out. Oh, they've killed someone, and then she'd just go to sleep and be at peace with that. And yet at the same time, the confidence for Shlomo for all these years in the Zulu family was Ukoli, because they were there first together, yes. And Ukoli was there together with them. But even from the first book, they were there. They went in together. And they sat down and they said, "You need to go and get vengeance for us." She was an active participant in that. So for me, by now I was like not surprised, because I was like, okay, this is okay, one band.
Yeah, and also where was Wasambu? Yes,
this is okay, Wasambu.
Yes, and what is the motto food?
She's the most like all the Zulu brothers.
Which is Janine? Was it I8?
I think R8. BMW.
Yes, it's I8. Yeah, I think it's one of these. Yeah.
That week.
So I guess I think in Ami well I'm just saying to base Tanda, but she was not calm. You're right. There you are very right. And then we've been introduced to them being in the Free State when things were going haywire.
When such circumstances led them there.
Yes, led them there. And I honestly thought at that time, Mina, oh God, it's the end. Honestly, but I was very far from finishing the book, and I was just thinking, okay, so what will happen after this? Because I was thinking, oh my goodness, because everything now, Peter is under attack, everyone is under attack.
Like
and I was so anxious. And I was like, oh my goodness, what is happening? And then they find themselves in a house in Free State. Where kuna story gesayo abo Peter nabaza belungu guys, and that time of our lives, and there was a house that had guns that was used during that time in South Africa. But I just want us to read something that actually caught my attention and made me think, South Africa, guys, we are going through it the most. But no one says anything. But we are just here living. I know this is fiction, but when I read it, I was so touched, because I thought, hey, this could be true. Well, it may just happen that this is a real thing.
It's not Uti, it's a major happening. It's a fictional version of true events.
Yes.
You know, because somebody went through this in some way or form, given our legacy as a country.
Yeah, Okay, so it's page 139 for those that have the book. So this is a conversation between Umbande and Peter. At that time when Peter wanted to now relocate to Australia, wanted to just vanish because things were really bad. But before I can even say that, Peter.
Because that's the thing about Dudu, you find yourself laughing through the tears. Wow, but then there's like and then you find yourself laughing in the midst of that.
Man, it says, where is this? Okay, it says, I'm going to read the whole paragraph. It says, I'm saying this to you because we are friends, Bande. We are family, man. I'm not trying to offend you because I know how it affected your own life. I'm just saying that South Africa is more F up than we all think. We walk on top of effery under our feet every day and we don't even know it. We are just people, man. Just people coexisting and moving forward like a herd of cows, trying to run away from the past. We are trying not to take it with us, but it is stuck on us. It is who we are, Bande. Also 3 decades later. And it's so true of South Africa. 3 decades later, we are still experiencing the tiptoeing, yes,
on the legacy of what our oppressive past gave us as black people, because from the oppressor's legacy side, it's very quick to say, no, let bygones be bygones. It's been 3 decades, because I also found that with the similar things with Langa's husband as well, which he very much thinks he took them from a white privilege perspective, as opposed to Langa's legacy of what he comes from, of not only being black but also being black and gay, and now they're in another country, and in that thing of now he has to live this life of kind of following him wherever he is, and he never really has a sense of home, whereas for him, wherever he is, his white privilege gets him through. It gets him through. It gets him through. And from Peter's perspective, what he acknowledges the white privilege he has, which is something that a lot of our white counterparts struggle with acknowledging, that they're living day to day on white privilege. It gets them through easier, faster, through things, whereas from a black perspective, we still have so much that we have to struggle for. Before, it was a matter of, no, to get a job you need a degree, and then the next thing's like, no, to get a job you need a postgrad, and then now black people are getting postgrads, and then now it's something else. Now it's 5 years experience, you must have a license, you must have a car, your own vehicle, all those things are white privilege. Whereas for Peter, he inherited land he didn't work for. He inherited land, and he's got all this land that's just sitting vacant. Vacant.
I'm not interested to go to
Peter. He's not interested. It's just sitting there vacant,
and
with,
no one
with
wants
the horse and the cat. Because for him, it's not important. It's not a legacy that he wants to have, but it's a legacy that is his. And then which becomes a refuge for the Zulu family. So those are things that we don't talk about. And it's not just talking about, because all these conversations always come from us, the oppressed. But it's not conversations that the oppressor, those that are living off the legacy of oppression, want to acknowledge and come to the fore and discuss, because that's where we are, I feel. That's at the point where they need to be the ones to start the conversation, because we've had many shows, many conversations from the black perspective saying, hey, but now it's at that point where they need to be the ones that come forth
and speak about this, because manje benza ngazathi with that truth and reconciliation, because even Peter highlights it even here khona la, says maybe now I've closed the book where he speaks about that, He says, he told me that the house should be in history book, that it should be Flag Plus that never made it to the Truth and Reconciliation Commission.
Exactly, and there's a lot of those.
There's a lot of those.
There's a lot of those.
A lot.
You know,
yes.
We work with people that have enjoyed legacies of those places. When we work with them, we socialize with them, our neighbors, you know, and they are in society. It's not something that ended with the Truth and Reconciliation, that died with all tape lunch. No.
Yeah. Yeah, sinenking ending in this country.
A lot.
Oh, so okay, maybe, and then another thing for me that, I guess that I struggled with in this book is the kids. They have the kids, they are protecting them, or they want them not to be part of whatever issues that they have. They just want them to be educated. They want them to be, you know, soft. Yes, mushy, mellow. But that does not happen.
Like they want them to be all cheese boy, but no.
No. And I think for me, I like how Ududu then made this point clear. You can't expect that kids that are growing up in an environment that is like that, they would differ. What are the chances? I ngikulela emzini where I know that's because of taxes or whatever, and then I know that I can choose the other side, but the thing is, those that will choose can choose what they see every day at home. And I think I like how she brought that about, to say we should not be fooled just because people have money, they're able to plaster and cover everything so that the kids don't see. Somehow someone will pick up in these kids with this is how we are doing things, and they will follow suit.
The way to put it, it brought to reality the saying that says, kids will do like you do, and not like you say.
Yeah, bo.
You know, yes, take them to the private school, have them chauffeur driven to school and back, all of those nice things, soft things, but their friends outside of them as siblings, the friends of these kids are the taxi drivers' kids.
Oh yes.
You know.
Also.
That's another thing. Their friends are outside, because even like my parties are, when it's the kiddies' party, it's the taxi drivers' kids are the ones that are there. It's not necessarily predominantly the kids that are from the private schools that they attend with. You know. So even now, they get taken to the taxi rank.
Yes.
You know, they see these things over. Sometimes adults just kind of speak above kids and think kids are just listening.
Yes.
But those sponges, they absorb. And then one day, they put to action.
Yes.
Action.
What they did there, I didn't expect.
I want.
Honestly. And not especially from the coconut, there is also from...
I know.
Yay.
The biggest surprise was that one.
I mean,
with his white makot.
Unsiga. I mean, we did not expect that from Unsiga.
With his white girlfriend right there. I know, girl was there, committed. You know, I'm here. Well, what are we camping? Right. Okay. Just come over to my house. And that's another thing of white privilege.
Ooh, yeah.
Just we bought a house in Silverwood Estates just for you to stay. You don't need to maintain it.
Yes.
Because that's what she had. She lived in Silverwood, and in this house, beautiful house that she doesn't maintain, and then here these Zulu boys coming to live in her house, and I making breakfast, lunch and dinner. Okay, like I know worry, you go to cross my lane. That's also the privilege that comes with white privilege, you know.
Yes.
At the same age, their fathers at the same age, it was not the same thing.
Yes.
You know, even Ushomu at the same age, not even their fathers, because she's a woman to woman. With Ushomu, our first introduction to her, she was living in a little bachelor.
You know,
And then here's this girl who all she has is her qualification that she's not using, she's not working anywhere, but she's living in an estate, a centurion that her parents bought for her. That's all of these things that are at her disposal without having to work for. That's also still part of the legacy of the privilege.
The white privilege. Yeah, no, that's so true. Man, Tembisa, I mean, this book is, guys, this book is, like I did say, it has 500 and something pages. I don't think we can touch on everything. But one of the last things, I think for me, you also say yours, is how Dudu wrote this book. It is so modern, guys. It speaks like how your 2Ks are speaking. Well, it reads like how your 2Ks would speak. And I think for me, I loved that because I felt good. It's easy to read that and it's relatable. And also, one of the things the fact that there is also isiZulu incorporated in this book. I think for me that was.
But the thing is, okay, for me, I would say the difference about this book was being able to hear the multiple voices.
Yes.
One thing that Dudu has always mastered the art of from the beginning of her writings, of us being introduced to her, because I met her through my sister when she used to release Uhlomu the Wine through WordPress, and then she sold it through PDF. And then from the second book was through the website. But whichever era that she's writing in, she always speaks the lingo of that time, writes in the lingo of that time. Okay. Because with the most rawest form, my favorite version of Uhlom is still the PDF version compared to the hard copy version. Because the hard copy version was somehow polished, I guess, for publishing criteria and whatnot. Yeah. But we got a PDF as it was, everything was raw, but she wrote it in the lingo of the time because it was live.
I wasn't introduced to the book. I don't know about. I didn't even know the way the PDFs.
Because that's how she started. She just used to release PDF and then left us halfway, and then she released on WordPress, and then she left us halfway, and then she released the whole thing on PDF and got PDF from her. And she did the same with Uzandile as well, and then she released Uzandile through a website. So we bought a link to a website to be able to read Uzandile. And then the hard copies only came when she released Una Lady His Love. And despite having all of those, all of us, we went and bought Zandile and His Love to have them as hard copies. So whichever era, when she releases the book at that time, when you pick it up, it's gonna speak that lingo. That lingo.
I loved it.
I
loved it so
much.
much.
So even now, man, just the screw have entered the building.
Yes, and I loved it so much. I was like, wow, she's such a good writer.
Brilliant.
She's a brilliant writer. I must say, guys.
But beyond just being a brilliant writer, in the moves and decisions that she makes. Uguti, it pioneered, with the way that I used it was pioneered, because the way that she released Uhlom was nothing that we had ever seen in any literature, because we grew up reading, some of us grew up reading even in high school, in any literature. And author teases us, and then it's like, because she was self-publishing, then we were buying PDF, and then because PDF people were just passing on, and then she released through a website, and then they were buying a link to a website, she's always tried to stay abreast of whichever challenges that she's experienced as a self-published author, and not just an author, but also an author that wrote about Black experience the way she does. Over everything that she writes, it is relatable to the locations, to the family relationships and dynamics that we can relate to them. So she's always been able to do that. And then also with the moves that she made, the one that impressed me the most, even before the one now, was when the Zulu wedding.
Yeah.
When she got the deal for the Zulu wedding, and then I went and bought the book. I even sent her a message DM'd her on Twitter to say, you have never done things, you are changing the game, because the movie was made, the Zulu wedding movie was made, and then she was approached to write a book as a prelude to the movie. And then we bought the book and everything, and even the release date of the movie had to be halted because it was like going to be around the same time as the book, but the release date of the movie had to pause to say no, the book needs to have life. I don't know if those were conversations that happened, but for me as a fan from the outside, it was a move in South African literature that I'd never seen before from any author, black or white, you know. So to have that, and only to find in the end that even when the movie came out of the Zulu wedding, the book still preceded over. It gave us much more than what the movie could ever give us, you know. It gave it so much meat and substance, you know. So when that happened, I was like, this woman, she's in a league of her own, and so unpretentious as well at the same time, and just always with her people. She knows us, we're crazy.
Yeah, she knows her. We are Mars.
She knows the
They're
whole
like,
type. No, we're not.
This.
We're not like that.
Well, online, I mean, like if you are to post something and then you take it,
she's always get like that with her tribe. Songs.
Yes. Oh yes.
Not specifically me.
Well, I'm talking about you because I know you. I don't know other people.
I mean, I would say I'm obsessed about her. And to say we are. I think the way I speak about her, that's how you think we are. Whereas no. We're not tight like that. We're not tight like that. You know. Yes, I have met her once because also with Ikunga. With Ikunga, it was in lockdown, level 5, and then she used to do lives and would join. And then lockdown played level 5, and then she's like, oh no, if you're around Centurion, I've got proofread copies of Ikunga if you want. And then I was like trying my luck, I am such and such a place. You know, I can come. And then she was like, yes, come through. And then there I was, mask, gloves to collect the book Ikunga from her. So yeah, that's a very special copy of mine. So the fact that I met her then, I'm happy that's the only personal encounter I've had.
Yes.
Oh, and then I think the thing that would make you think would be BFFs was she followed me on Instagram.
Yes.
And I made a big deal about it.
This is how you say. You
I
see?
made a big deal about it. Good today. Yes.
Yes.
I'm within.
But that's also beautiful to see.
Yeah.
To say the very people that support you also support them back.
Exactly.
In terms of like engage with them, because I think that's important. That you have an engagement with people that are actually supporting you. So she is your best friend. Me, I believe that.
Yes.
Me, I believe that. Yes. I don't know about you, but me, I believe that.
Because as I say, my copy of Ikunga is not like your copy of Ikunga.
Okay.
Hence,
all right.
we are BFFs.
All right. Yes.
Yeah.
No, definitely. I believe that. So, guys, I think we've covered everything. Well, not everything, but what we
just
thought.
the halamuzi.
Halamuzi. Yeah. We don't even want to moshela. If you have not read, go and read these books. I would suggest that you start, because you know why I'm saying that. My manager comes to me and then she says, "Do you have the end?" Oh no, I think I carried it to work.
Yeah.
So it was just there on top of the end. She's like, borrow me this, and I was like, this is not mine. But also you can't just start here. You need to start from with the wife. Yeah. So if you have not read the series, go and just buy these books, read the series until you get to the end. We don't know whether she's still going to release another book or not.
As far as I'm concerned, I hope she does.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of things that need to be completed. There's a lot. As much as we have spoken about a lot, like, and it seems like we've given spoiler alerts, but until you read for yourself, that's when you're gonna see that there's so much more that you are missing out on.
Yes, yeah.
When it comes to this series, the only series that matters is the Hlomo series by Dudu Busani-Dube.
Amen. Thank you.
And yeah, I have to say, thank you to Samke for inviting me here,
Yeah.
because now I feel like I have been to the book launches that have been happening with Ututu that we have been missing out on, but I feel like I was there with my appropriate drink. So thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Tembisa, also for coming. And also, I must say, I don't want to take credit for things. It was also your idea that you can do the review of this book, and I was like, oh yeah, sure. And initially I thought I was gonna do it alone, but I was like, after we spoke about it, I was like, hang on, no, I need this woman here. I need this woman here. I need us to unpack and to also speak about this book and the things that we actually picked up from the book and what we liked from the book. So thank you also for suggesting and for also coming. Thank you so much. I really did enjoy our conversations. And guys, like I did say, did you hear that? Nizwel. More is coming. Thank you so much, guys, for watching this video. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and also do share to your friends as well, and also subscribe. Yes, subscribe to the channel. I mean, I have like 72% of you guys who are not who are subscribed as yet, and I do know that maybe after this one I see you guys subscribing. I see you guys pressing on that button. All right.
Also, they can suggest any future reviews that they'd like you to do.
Yes, yeah, you can do that as well. So thank you, guys. I love you all. I'll see you next time. Bye. Yeah, that was nice. Thank you.